Hello again, and welcome back. Today I'm going to try something a little bit different. Obviously, no face cam today. I'm just going to be putting my voice over some Doom 2016 gameplay. For a couple reasons. One, I think it's probably a little bit more entertaining than just watching my ugly face yap at the camera. And two, I've been recently replaying the Doom trilogy ever since Doom Dark Ages Revelations came out. And I figured I might as well just put some gameplay footage in the background for everyone to enjoy while I sit up here in my soapbox and rant about life, I guess. The title of this video is Against the Odds, or Against All Odds, whatever I decide on officially naming it once I am done editing everything. I am calling it that because it seems like, at least for my generation, everything seems to be stacked up against us. Professionally, financially, emotionally. Maybe not so much the emotional part, since I think mental health and help is much more ubiquitous today than it ever has been before. And it's, super easy to get help for whatever it is that you're going through. But when I'm saying against all odds, I'm really talking about, well, for me in particular, a large part of it is financial. In my first or my second video, one of the two, I remember saying that I work 6 days a week. My base salary is, on paper at least, about 62,000, but I work a lot of overtime. So I take home about 100,000 every year. That can go up or down depending on the overtime itself, but that's not a bad living for a 33-year-old guy, just in general. Not so much when you have a family and you have to support your family. You got to support your wife and your kids and everything. I don't want to come across like my wife doesn't work. She absolutely does. She puts in a lot of effort at her job. She's really good at her job. And I'm really good at mine, but that's just what I make. Between the both of us, we're probably close to like 140,000, I would say, in like total household income. I bring all this up because I think it's a really important metric to have in place when talking about just the complete unaffordability that is life. Especially when you have kids, because every time I turn around, my kids need something different, and it's not for no reason. Obviously they need food and clothes, we all do, but they turn around, my 6-year-old, it's got to do something for school, it's got to go to a birthday party, so you got to buy a birthday gift. Both of my kids are growing like weeds right now, so every month and a half to 2 months, or at the most every season, they need new clothes, and it's hundreds of dollars. My rent, I don't own my own house, like I think I said in my first video as well. Owning your own house, it's at this stage of the game, at least for me and my family, it's just kind of like a fallacy. Just the numbers alone on what you need to get your foot in the door is just like astronomical, and it's extremely demoralizing, to the point where I don't even know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm trying this whole YouTube thing to see if it even goes anywhere, but so far it's been a lot of fun, and I plan on continuing it. I know I haven't uploaded in like a week or two, but I plan on putting videos out or commentary out when I have something to say, and I feel like today I had something to say. I don't know where to go from here as far as saving money, because again, my first video, saving money just seems like a complete fucking fallacy. I don't make enough to pay all the monthly bills that I have to pay, and then put away a nest egg or in a savings account for a future home. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, and I don't even know how we got here. And I'm not gonna lie to anybody. I'm not college educated. I just kind of fell into my field, and I learned enough about it that I kind of made a pseudo career out of it. But even so, like, I have friends that have degrees that have jobs that have nothing to do with their degrees. You know, I think it's just the fact that they have that piece of paper. I recently got out of debt, and you know, I want this, that, and the other thing, and I have to prioritize, really, and it's tough because you know, when you're used to buying things on your own, it you know, kind of becomes its own sort of lifestyle. And then when you have to support a family, you know, that just goes out the window, and for good reason. You know, you should have to sacrifice what you want as an individual to prop up your family, because they deserve it. But it doesn't make up for the fact that, like, you know, I want to save for a house, I want to save for my future, and I want to pay for all the things that my kids need and my family needs. But at the same time, like, every week I'm looking at my bank account and it's like, okay, all the bills are paid and now there's nothing left, so what now? And fortunately, I haven't had to go into a crazy amount of debt like a lot of people. You know, the national debt is just like in the trillions of dollars or whatever it is. It's absolutely preposterous. I was in about like $15,000, $16,000 worth of credit card debt between myself and my wife, which isn't really that much at the end of the day in comparison to a lot of other people. But you know, when you're not making as much as you need to, that is pretty crushing amount. That's a pretty crushing amount of debt. Fortunately, my mom stepped in to help us out. I ended up paying her back with the second job within the course of like 9 months. And then, you know, I'm debt free now, which is a pretty fucking phenomenal feeling. It's just a little bit less phenomenal because I feel like all my money is still going to the things that I need and the things that my family needs, but it doesn't. There's no room for anything else, and it's kind of a shitty feeling. So I've been trying to figure out like what I could do on the side, but the reality of the matter is that I work 6 days a week. On the weekends, I work a lot. It's a Saturday right now, so I'm working a 12-hour day. I'm recording this from work, and it doesn't really leave much else for like a second income or any kind of a side hustle, or and it sucks, man. It sucks, and I'm just trying to figure out where to go from here. And like, yeah, I know I can make money from YouTube, but I'm just kind of using this as a outlet, so to speak, because it does feel good to get all this shit off my chest, even if I'm talking to complete strangers on the internet. And you know, if you guys want to leave a comment or pick a topic for what you want me to talk about, I'm more than happy to do that. Yeah, I just wanted to put this video out saying that it feels like my generation is just against all the odds in the you know, long history of decisions that this country, this government, I should say, has made over the past several decades. And it's no surprise that a lot of people my age, and mind you, I'm 33, a lot of people my age feel like they're just disenfranchised and the system failed them, and you know, they can't get a job anywhere, and the jobs that they can get don't pay enough. And I think a lot of it is accurate to an extent. You know, you still got to put the work in for what you want to do. But at the same time, the fact that a house now, like the average cost of a house is like somewhere in the neighborhood of $500,000 is just, it's insulting. It is. Because at least for me, I don't know when I'm going to be able to afford a house. And that's always been the American dream, at least as far as what I've been told growing up. And it just doesn't seem possible right now, not without making like $250,000 a year, which is like a joke, especially for an uneducated 33-year-old guy. And I always hated that term, uneducated, because I'm not dumb, right? I have a semi-marketable skill in computers, and I've been able to get jobs in offices because of that, and not because of the piece of paper in the form of a degree, but in the fact that I've had, like, at this point, about 15 years of experience doing it. And a lot of employers like to see the experience sometimes more than the actual degree, especially if the degree that you hold has nothing to do with the job that you're applying for. and I've been fortunate enough to coast off of my experience. And then even if I wanted to get a formal education, like the time that it would take with me working 6 days is like almost impossible. So I don't know what the solution is, but if you're out there and you're listening to this, I hope you know that if you're in this similar position, I hope you know that you're not alone. There's plenty of other people out there that are struggling in the same vein. And even if you're not worried about what you're going to eat for your next meal, like it's still not a great feeling if you don't have a nest egg saved up or something. So yeah, I don't really know where else I'm going to go with this as far as like this video. So I think I'm just going to bring it to a close because I just feel like I'm talking in circles. So if you've enjoyed this, leave a like or a comment. I'd love to hear from anybody who's interested. And on that note, if you come and check out my channel, I appreciate it, and I will catch everyone in the next video. So thank you very much, and have a good day.